Hello and welcome to, I don't even remember what number I'm on now, but another video here on marketing with YouTube. Today, I'm going to talk about how creators monetize their YouTube channels. This is up on the surface, not something that almost any business is going to do or have an interest in, but I think it is important for us to understand the other side of the YouTube world as we kind of move towards these final slides about you know, what is the role that businesses should have on YouTube? What should you be trying to do? And what can we take from creators? Because creators are the ones that have figured out YouTube in a way that most of us never will. And if you watch enough videos by these top creators, you'll see some similarities and you'll start to see trends that a lot of them are utilizing. So let's dig in. So first, monetization is not just a one-shot deal. There are two levels to it. There is I mean, they're pretty close in terms of the thresholds, but there's that first level, which is fan funding. This is just entry level. It just allows you access to more tools. Some of them are revenue generating tools, like tools you can use to generate revenue. And it gives you access to more creator like resources online. The one that people think about when they hear the word monetization on YouTube is ad revenue. That's the big one. This is where you are actively making money from ad revenue. Not just ad revenue, but you're getting pieces of premium subscriptions from the people that are watching your videos who have YouTube Premium. I have YouTube Premium. I'm probably never gonna go back because I can't imagine a life with ads. But hey, I am happy to support creators if I'm watching a video with my YouTube Premium. I don't know what that breakdown is. I I saw it at one point and it's pretty convoluted. And that's one thing I don't really get into. I believe it's like, man, like $1 per million views, 100,000 views, 100,000 views maybe. So again, that's not something I deal too much with. But if you are a creator and you're watching this, I would love to hear your experience. You hear a lot of success stories from everyday people who make enough money to do X, Y, and Z from being a creator on social media. Just about everything is monetized now. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn, I think, is going to start doing that pretty soon. Even X has started doing that. So there's a lot of opportunities. But, how do you do that? Well, it's not easy. So to get to fan funding, 500 subscribers doesn't seem crazy. Really, the second part is pretty crazy. You need 3,000 watch hours. That means people watching your stuff, or 3 million shorts views in the last 3 months. I don't know if you're aware of just how crazy that is, but that's those are big numbers. Those are, and if you want to actually make ad revenue and those YouTube premium dollars, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, not crazy. I mean, it's a marginal increase from the 3,000 or 10 million shorts views in 90 days. That's a lot. And it's not just views. We will get to those in the analytics section. But, that's one thing, right? Those numbers. But really, if you can do that, if you can get to either of these, I believe ad revenue, no, it's fan funding. If you could just to get to fan funding, that is approximately 2.5% of all channels. That is pretty wild. Um, 2.5%. So if you even qualify for the fan funding, which is not making money from ad revenue, you're just eligible to participate in these other programs and essentially fundraise. I don't want to say fundraise, but earn money for yourself using your own ways. You can like get tips and there's subscriptions that cost money. Like those are all fan funding. So, and again, you got to double your subscribers to get to that next level. It's pretty wild. And by getting to that level, that first level is when you are officially enrolled in the YouTube Partner Program. That's what it is called. When I say monetized, that is what it is called. Oof, that's a small percentage. But if you look at what's underneath that, $70 billion has been paid out to all of the individuals, all of the individual channels total in the last 3 years. So that's a nice chunk of change that Google has paid out to all of these channels. Now, a couple ways that creators differ, right? The big one, obviously, is the monetization. And these are sometimes these don't always, these are generalized differences that I'm really sharing for effect more than anything else. These are meant to really get you thinking, right? For on one side, beginning of the first video, or not first video, the second video, I talked about how creators are the ones that monetize on the platform, but businesses are not. Companies have to go off the platform to turn their YouTube videos into revenue. Meanwhile, creators, they want people to stay on their videos watching them full time, which also means for creators, they live and die by the metrics. We're going to look at the analytics in the last video. But companies here, right, they focus on offline conversions. So for a company that gets somebody to watch a video and then go to their website and make a purchase or fill out a lead form, right? The video's done its job there for a company. But for a creator, one view does nothing for them. They need hundreds of thousands of them. And then they look at trends and they use metrics essentially as a tool to figure out, hey, how can I keep people watching my videos longer and longer? And that's where we come up with trends, right? Creators will chase these trends that can help them get more engagement, more watch time, more subscribers, and a broader audience. A lot of times, there are people that are trend setters, like the Mr. Beasts of the world, but then you also have trend followers. And that seems to be every person who's monetized, who just got monetized, right? They are trying these different things. They are testing out all these different trends. Companies completely ignore them. There's no real point. If you're not trying to monetize on the platform, there's no need. But also, when you're chasing trends, you're churning out a lot of content. And that is what creators are doing. They are constantly having to create more content because they always need to be fresh. Their content needs to be fresh. The channel needs to be fresh. They may not create videos every day, but they're creating them regularly. But on the other hand, you have companies that are just throwing videos out there as a digital file cabinet, which is just, hey, I happen to have this video, so I'll just go upload this. Am I going to do anything with it? Probably not. Maybe I'll embed it on my website. Now, the last two are interesting because they speak to who creators are, and that is they are people. They are building a brand with a personality. They can be provocative and they can be controversial. But more than anything else, well, for the most part, they try to be themselves. Creators who don't, that put in this crazy persona, usually don't last long, or if they do, they eventually get figured out. But when you see a lot of people that are successful as creators, they are using YouTube as a passion project. They are really immersing their everyday lives and connecting. YouTube becomes the intersection between work and their fun livelihoods, the things that they do every day. You have, the example I like to. I mean, Mark Rober is an example. He worked at NASA, was an engineer, and then I don't know if he left to do YouTube or what. But eventually, was all in on creating content and now is creating these very highly produced videos, testing out all these different theories and showing kids the fun side of science, while at the same time clearly enjoying it himself while he does it. He's not one that's provocative and controversial, but he has a personality. It's a brand. Mr. Beast, I mean, he barely has a personality. He just exists. It's not him that has the personality. It's really everybody else on his channel and all the videos themselves. But it's pretty fascinating to see that with creators, you have these individuals who are spending all this time building up their brands, but it's very, very different than what a company does. The company is pretty faceless. You rarely have people on these company videos. And if you do, they are people that aren't associated with the business. A lot of times I like to say company videos are lifeless. Even when you have testimonials, case studies, you have like an interview of a guy who's like, oh, if it wasn't for whatever the company name is, if it wasn't for company X, I wouldn't be here today. And I look at this video thinking like I could fall asleep right now. It's not just lifeless, but I don't know how this is doing anybody any good. I look back at a lot of the videos that I would put up on YouTube for companies that I used to work with and former clients, and I'm thinking to myself, these are not entertaining. These are not fun. I don't know how this would push anybody through a funnel and cause somebody to want to make a purchase. There needs to be a level of life here. There needs to be a sign of life. And that's, if there's one thing that we can say for creators that companies often lack, it is that livelihood. And that kind of bleeds into this last section for this video, which is what can companies learn from creators? I bucket them into two big things. The first is planning. This is before you do anything with the video. One, you got to have a recurring human, not different people every time. But if you're going to do a series, you need to have a face of the company. If you're familiar with Duolingo, you've done a recent assignment on Duolingo, you know that it's not a recurring human, it's a bird. It is a logo, it's a mascot. Look at car insurance. Every car insurance company in the United States has a human or other living character that is associated very closely with it. Some of them are kind of lame, I'll be honest. Jake from State Farm has no personality. He's like the Mr. Beast of car insurance. Everybody knows who he is, and he is everywhere, but he does nothing. It's everybody else who does. Geico has the Gecko. He's been around for 2 decades, as has Flo with Progressive. And now you're seeing more secondary characters coming in to take over for these. You have Jamie, who was Flo's assistant, coming in. You had the Limu Emu with Liberty Mutual, and now you have that the dumb actor who's taking his spot. You have all of these different living things. These are not, technically strategies and best practices just for YouTube, but they are good content marketing strategies. And for YouTube to be successful for a brand or definitely for a creator, you need to have a human element to it. And too many companies lack that. Now, a couple other things. One, companies know what their title and their thumbnail is going to be before they even do the filming. They know what's going to catch the attention of their audience. Mr. Beast is the prime example of someone who does this. But then also, I mentioned this in the end screen section of a video a couple videos ago. When filming what the call to action is going to be at the end, what is going to be on the end screen. I've seen creators go as far as to point up above their heads and just say, click this video above if you want to see me jump off a bridge. And it's so different than what you would see with a company, because it's clear that these creators have put in so much time and so much forethought into how these YouTube videos are not just going to start, but more importantly, how they're going to end and how they're going to retain the audience's attention, because that is really what it's all about. That is the other side of what companies can learn from creators, and that is the retention side. I have 3 definitions here. One is the open loop. So that is when at the beginning of the video, we've all seen this. If somebody essentially promises a payoff at the end, this is very, very common, especially with kid and teenage friendly channels. They try to keep people hooked from the start. But then if this is a long video and it's like 10, 20 minutes, they're going to come back. The creator's going to come back 5, 10, 15 minutes later and be like, oh, and don't forget to stick around because you're going to see me jump off a bridge here at the end. and it might even show the footage, but like grainy and blurred out. They go that far. They're not going to show the whole thing, but they're going to go just as far as they need to retain your attention. Then the last one, though, is the pattern interrupts. Um, this is the one that I personally have an issue with because I believe that this is causing a an even accelerated decline in our attention spans. That every 30 to 60 seconds, there is a drastic shift in visuals or location or even energy. The idea here is that, and if you want to see this at scale, if you've ever watched Beast Games on Amazon Prime, that's a series where they're going through all these contests to win all this money. And it's essentially a reality show. But if you were to watch Beast Games and then go back 25 plus years and watch something from the first season of Survivor, which was supposed to be this, which was, I guess, not even supposed to be, it was this groundbreaking reality television series that completely put, you know, network television on its head. You would think that Survivor is the most boring, slow moving thing of all time because you saw these one on one confessionals, you saw people just hanging around and eating. Then on the other side, Beast Games is always action. It is constantly action. And the reason for that is he has throughout his entire career been so closely connected to the analytics. He knows and he would know when people would drop off a video, when people would pause, when people would skip ahead or rewind. And what he found over the years was that when the energy slowed or when the action stopped, so too did the interest in the video. And so as a result, we have this non-stop action. You have no confessionals in Beast Games. And if you do, it's happening while something insane is occurring on the screen or in the background. You know, Mr. Beast is all about the action and keeping your attention as much as humanly possible for as long as humanly possible. And while I do think there is a larger existential crisis that we are having as a society with this, it works on YouTube. And it's something that companies can learn, not that they can go as far as maintaining these, you know, using these pattern interrupts every minute, but they can do a little bit more than what they're doing now, which is in most cases the exact opposite. So that's that concludes the monetization segment of this. There's one video left, and it is all about the analytics, and it's about exactly how Mr. Beast can see where his attention, where his audience's attention drops off, and where he can see, hey, this is what's happening, and here's where we go. Also, I will talk about, you know, what is a view, what's an engaged view, how do you monetize? Because I can tell you right now, 3 million shorts views is not. It may sound hard now. It's about to get a lot harder once you hear, pretty much, you know, how YouTube defines it. So we will cut it there, and we will return for one more video in this marathon of a series on marketing with YouTube.